Alrighty, testing. Okay, we're just gonna do this. Hello. This is gonna be fairly short because I have a photo shoot that I have to do. I'm taking the photos, I'm not in them. So this is gonna be decently short. We're just gonna sit on this armchair a little bit here. Today we're not out in the forest or the park like we were. Before today, we are continuing our Dakota message, and some good realizations came with today's meditation and today's thoughts. Sounds of water. Sorry, I am checking on a few things, so I do apologize for that. This is, as we know, this is just going to get uploaded raw and everything. Just give me so I do think that today's principle is pretty important overall, especially for me. Today's principle in the Dakota is yesterday was do not hold grudges, which we did a video at the park for that one. And I believe I've let go. And I'm moving forward and things like that, so that's good. Today's principle is do not let yourself be blinded by passionate love or lust. Now the thing here is we all know that I have struggled with lust in my life. Like, we all know that 100%. You know, I'm supposed to be charging a V-mount battery right now because I have two things to shoot today. I do apologize. Okay. We're done. This is gonna be a short video anyway. Look, so we all know that I have struggled with the feeling of lust, and this is something that I talk to God about and everything like that. And what I think it is that I have mistaken love for lust too many times. And I was dissecting and thinking about it today and talking to God about it and everything, and I was like, something very clear came to mind. Not came to mind, but like I was told something very clear that I believe I have the wisdom to talk about now. What I think that this principle is talking about, do not let yourself be blinded by passionate love or lust, because it talks about passionate love as well. I think a lot of times we can be so afraid to lose someone that we lose ourselves in the process. I think that we as people can lose ourselves in another person that we love deeply. I think that to keep people in my life, I have made decisions that I would have otherwise not made. I fought for people to remain in my life that everyone around me knew was bad for me. Like, I wasn't in a good place, but I was so afraid of letting go and so afraid of, oh, they're gonna feel this way about me, they're gonna think this thing, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, that I unfortunately lost a lot of myself in that process. And it goes back to being a child. Truly, it does. Like, I know it sounds kind of cliche to be like, oh my god, we're still talking about childhood trauma, bro, here we go again. No, it's a real thing. was talking to my psych about this as well. And so a real thing for me is I grew up in a military household where my mother was a soldier. She went to war multiple times. She came back. Things were not the same. She's a different person, whatever, right? Something interesting about that time in my life is I learned very early. I want to say like in 2005, I learned very early that my feelings do not matter as much. You know, a thing in our household has always been, you can complain, but nobody's listening. And while as I've gotten older, I can recognize the power in that, I can also see where that can be easily misconstrued as invalidation of your feelings. And when your feelings are invalidated, especially feelings of love and, you know, these deeper feelings of grandeur, you unfortunately can kind of lose yourself to the point that you don't even know who you are. And I think for me, it happened so early that I didn't even get a chance to discover who I was yet. So now I'm discovering who I am at 27 years old. Which, yeah, some people, it's like, whoa, you're a grown-ass man. Like, you shouldn't be struggling with these things. Like, you should, you know, blah, blah, blah. I haven't had the regular life that other people have had. I just haven't. And get those markers and those milestones and those emotional, intelligent building character moments. I didn't have those. I had other things to worry about. I had a family that was falling apart at the seams. I was learning psychology to help with the PTSD, to help with the destruction that was going on in my life, you know, and so I'm learning now all of these things, both about myself as well as, you know, who I would want to be, who this, that, and the third. And so it's a client texting me last minute, like, do you have this? No, I don't have that. Do I have to go buy one? Hold on. Give me 30 seconds. Where was I? Whatever, I digress. The point is that I think that by not allowing yourself to be blinded by these passionate feelings of love or lust, because you can have passionate lust, you 100% can have passionate lust because you're mistaking it for love. I've mistaken people's affection toward their commitment towards me and stuff like that as love many times in my life, and I've only realized recently while being on this journey, like, no, you don't love me, you're using me. Let me say that again for the people in the back. If hurting me does not hurt you, you do not love me, you're using me. And I found that out way too late. Or let me not say that. I found that out in my own time. People were always saying it. People constantly, my sister says it all the time, you know, and then she's like, no, I have to talk to you like a hard ass because you don't fucking listen to me. And it's not that I don't listen to her. It's that I try so hard to maintain these interpersonal relationships because I spent my entire life not having them, aside from my sister, pretty much, that I don't want to go back to being that person that I was before. And so I've become terrified of losing these connections, losing these people, losing these things. And so then I work a lot harder, which I believe ties in to our conversation yesterday about grudges, like grudges that I held, because I did talk briefly about love in that video as well. And one of the things that I had said was that I love like a tsunami naturally. I'm a lot. I want to write you poetry. I want to tell you, hey, there's this literature quote that reminds me of this situation or this thing that we're talking about. And I'm like, oh shit, like, let me send this literature quote and like break it down. Let me do this. Like, I love loudly. I love very chalantly. I love like a tsunami. The issue with a tsunami is it's so much and it's so overwhelming that by the end of it, I'm the one that's left dry. Let me say that again. I love like a tsunami, but by the end of it, I am the one that's left dry. So why am I left dry? I'm left dry because I can feel when someone is pulling away. I can feel when this thing that I cherish, that I love, is going to end. I can feel it. You can call it my anxiety. You can call it my overthinking. You can call it anything in the fucking world. You can call it intuition. I feel it in my bones. I feel it in every fiber of my being down to my soul. I can feel it. And that's when I turn from a tsunami into a hurricane. I do. I turn into this hurricane. I turn into this hurricane because I'm trying to hold on to this thing that I'm losing. Once again, we go back a few episodes. I'm holding on to water so tightly, and all it's doing is rushing through my fingers. I'm learning to let go. I'm learning that it's okay to be afraid, and it's okay to do things afraid. I'm learning these things. But I'm also learning that I don't want to turn into a hurricane. I don't want to be left. I don't want to be dry by the time the tsunami that is my love is over. I don't want those things. Loud ass truck. I don't want those things. The same way I don't want the same way that I don't want to be afraid. The same way that I don't want to be so consumed with fear that I stop living my life. And most of all, the big one that I'm learning today, that I'm working through all of today, is I don't want to be so blinded by my passionate love that I'm afraid to lose them and thus lose myself. I'm just now discovering who I am. And hopefully I like this version and I won't want to lose this version. I'm going through a metamorphosis. I'm just a caterpillar and I'm in the cocoon right now. And I'm hoping that by the end of it, I come out beautiful. Even if I can't see my own wings, I'm hoping I come out beautiful. So I apparently have to go and buy a folding chair for this shoot, which means I should be charging a little bit more because now I have to go and get a chair. I'm already bringing all the gear, like what? Anyway, so that is our principle for today. Do not let yourself be blinded by passionate love or lust. And I'm getting better at the whole lust thing. I'm getting better at saying no if things don't feel right. But I think my issue with lust comes down to being a people pleaser. Genuinely, I think that's what it comes down to. It's like, well, this would make other people happy, therefore I would do it, kind of thing. And that's to my detriment in a lot of ways. So I'm unlearning that behavior. But a big one that I have to unlearn going forward is I need to unlearn, or I need to learn, not unlearn, I need to learn that it's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to be so engrossed in your fear that you lose yourself because you're too afraid to lose somebody else. That doesn't mean don't fight for them. That doesn't mean don't, care as deeply. That's not what it means. Like, no, have your affection, have your passionate love, do these things, do what makes you happy. But everything in life is finite. Everything in life will eventually end. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. So letting go when the time comes is important. And I think that's something that I'm learning and processing and doing my very best to get better at understanding. So, yeah. Do not let yourself be guided by passionate feelings. Be blinded. Do not let yourself be blinded by passionate feelings of love or lust. Do not be so afraid of losing someone that you lose yourself. And that's what I'm learning right now. And that's terrifying. But we're doing a lot of scary things lately in our lives. We're doing a lot of scary things. Just speaking when I feel something, even if it doesn't feel like it's reciprocated. Excuse me, even if it feels like it's not reciprocated, even if it feels like, oh, they don't want to hear this shit right now. Choosing to speak rather than to die is terrifying, and I'm doing it every single day. So, this has been day 9. Right? Day 9? This is day 10. This has been day 10. Here we go.